Hello, beautiful people and artists of the world. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Nana, also known as Put Potato, and by the pencil am I glad that you tuned back in today. In the last video, we discussed the first half of ARTFIGHT PREP which I talked a lot about two of my OCs. I talked a little bit about my previous experiences and my thoughts on the art fight, drama and rules. And I thought this time around I would give you some tips for art fight and how to maybe prevent art block and how to present your characters the right way if you want them to be noticeable, if you want great artists to pick up on them. And of course, I will introduce you to two more of my characters, namely Camilla and Anya. But first of all, before we get into it, if you like my content, if you like my art, please consider subscribing, that's what the kids call it. And also liking the video if you enjoy it. And of course, please also consider checking out my VGen and also my store if you want to get yourself something nice and support a small artist. Now, without further ado, let's get into it. Georg, roll the camera. So I've seen a lot of people be a bit anxious about how they are going to prevent art block before they're going to get into art fight. A lot of people seem to be worried that art block is going to crawl up into their bed just before art fight starts, which I think is a legitimate fear. I mean, art block has a tendency to show up in the most inconvenient of times, and it is very much non-negotiable. But there are actually some things you can do to avoid art block, because after all, it's all just a trick of the mind. You don't actually just unlearn how to draw in a day. So the first thing you can do is actually, I know this sounds kind of silly and easier said than done, but also don't psych yourself out too much. If you expect too much from yourself and put a lot of pressure on yourself for art fight, then the tendency of your brain is to revolt. Usually that results in you being unable to concentrate on your drawings or really bring the idea to paper the way you want it to. If you bring yourself back a little and reconsider what art fight is really about for you, which should be, in my opinion, just having fun, exploring fun characters, developing your skill as an artist, and connecting with people, you will find that it's actually not that serious. And by gaining that mental freedom, you can avoid art block much easier. Because most of the time when we experience art block, it's more of a frustration that we can't bring our ideas to the page the way we want to, because we are much more scrutinizing than we usually would be. If we were just drawing for fun and not putting too much pressure on it, we would have a much easier time actually drawing the way that we want to. So try to be more lenient with yourself, try to not put too much pressure on your skill as an artist, and don't try to be perfect. Try to have fun, try to connect with people, try to experience this awesome event as what it's meant to be. Another thing that I can recommend for art block is just taking a break. I know most of us have set their own goals for art fight and we want to draw as many characters as we can possibly fit into those 31 days, but at the end of the day, if you just take a day to recover and don't draw and just take a break, you are going to lose a lot less time than if you try to force yourself through this art blockade. So just, if you feel like you're just a ball of stress and you can't even hold the pen right anymore, take a breather. Take a day off, go outside, do something with your friends, with your pets, with your partner, whatever makes you happy. Play a game or read a book, anything that just gives you a chance to recharge. And last but not least, try to draw something you've never drawn before. That actually helps a lot, I've found, because you kind of reset your brain. If you you learn something for the first time, then your brain kind of sees the whole thing different and you get into the groove of drawing much easier again. So yeah, try to draw something you've never drawn before. Like maybe that's an animal, or maybe an object, or maybe a specific scenery. Maybe you're gonna take the jump and try to practice some backgrounds. I don't know. But yeah, I've always found that these three things tend to always keep me out of art block. And I haven't actually experienced art block in a few years now, mostly because of my headspace, I think. And I wish for you to be able to do the same. Now, let's talk about how to present your character for the big leagues, shall we? I'm not saying that anyone should be more of a big league than others, but I feel like the longer you practice art and the more you invest time in storytelling and character art and just the craft itself, the more you develop a certain eye for which characters to pick for ARTFIGHT. Naturally, there are different aspects that pertain to who would choose your character or how memorable your character will be. And those start from your very first thumbnail, to your storytelling, to your design, to your presentation, all the way to your description of them. If an artist decides to draw your character, they want to know who they're drawing and they want to be obsessed with them. Even just the design itself, if it's a really interesting and unique design that has a lot of elements that makes us ask questions about the character's backstory, then we're much more intrigued and tempted to draw that character. So we already have two things that we need to take care of: a unique design, a memorable design, and also, of course, some storytelling, visual storytelling that doesn't need any written text to explain itself. There are tons of tutorials of how to go about that. You can look up the W questions for a start, how to utilize those to really pinpoint who your character is. You can look into thumbnailing for interesting silhouettes as a process to make your design pop and more unique. You can look into environmental and visual storytelling, very prominent in comic art and also obviously in character design. And yeah, all of these cues can help other people look into your art and be connected to the characters that they see. Obviously, it also helps to promote them in a way in your social media. People have a higher chance to find you on platforms like Instagram or YouTube or TikTok or whichever you mingle about at. But in the end, if your character is not interesting and no one enjoys the design or connects with it, then even the promotion will fall flat, I fear. And obviously, last of all, your presentation. If you have a reference sheet for your character, that's already a very good start. The reference sheet should encompass all the aspects of your character to make it very frictionless and easy for another artist to draw them. And also, it should give some cues about what is important to include for that character, how to present them, how is their demeanor, their body language, how do they behave, how do they speak, what kind of clothes do they like to wear, maybe what time they're in, so an artist can pinpoint what kind of clothes they can choose depending on the time era. All of these aspects should be included in your reference sheet. If you were to show this reference sheet to an artist who's never heard or seen your character before, would they be able to pinpoint exactly what makes this character, and would they be able to replicate them in a drawing? If they wouldn't be, then maybe you should revise that specific aspect of your reference sheet once again. So yeah, now that we've prepared a little bit for ARTFIGHT, may I tell you a little bit about my children? So in this speed painting, you can see me draw and design Anya and Camilla. These two are actually the protagonists for my very first original novel that I'm working on right now. I'm currently in the editing phase, so the first draft is done, but I'm revisiting a lot of things because there's so many inconsistencies. I don't even know. I started the book in like the 21st century, and then midway through it's suddenly the Victorian era. So you can imagine how many edits I have to make. But yeah, enough about that. Let's talk about Anya first. Anya is our main character, and she is thrust into a setting where she is required to expose herself of magic. So she's being cleansed because magic in that world is seen as an infection, as a sickness, and only women are able to be infected, and therefore gain magic. And in that institute where she lands, people are supposed to get rid of their magical powers or their magical sickness, if you will. At the beginning of the book, she's very much on board with the whole thing. She thinks that if she causes as little ripples in her environment as possible and just complies and goes with the flow, then maybe she will be able to acquire her dream of getting to study medical research. Very quickly, she comes to find that that's actually not as easy as it sounds, because in the end, it turns out that if you try to expose your magic, that will actually end your being. So she really comes to terms with the fact that magic is a part of her and that it's actually not a sickness and very much something that can be good. It can be bad too, but you know, it's not about the magic here, it's about the person who wields it. And as she comes to find this, she discovers a lot of secrets and a lot of ruses behind why people are forcing women to get rid of their magic. And in the end, there's a lot of happening. I don't want to spoil too much because maybe I want to pick up the book once it's out in a few 100 years. But yeah, she has a lot of character development and I love her very dearly. She is my literal child, my biological child, and I just want her to be happy. All the book, like I make her suffer so much, and in the end, I just want her to be happy. I think that's a very normal thing for a storyteller to do, though. Like we're all a bit like little sadists. But yeah, and Camilla is the love interest of the story. She is very much in tune with her magic, has accepted the reality that magic is part of her an eternity ago, and she's the bane of the existence of the Institute and causes a lot of trouble here and there. And yeah, I mean, they irrevocably fall in love with each other because it's very cute and very sweet, and I love these two so much. They're so cute together. I have so many things to say, but also I don't want to say everything, you know? But yeah, Camilla, in opposition to Anya, is a very fiery spirit and definitely a rebel person. She is also very closed off, doesn't trust people as easily as most would, and she has an attitude. She's very tiny, but she has an attitude. And she's very skilled, very smart, very good at physics, and she understands the correlation that the natural physics have with magic and how everything corresponds with each other, and is able to build different machinery and create different rituals in order to use magic efficiently and develop new spells and new possibilities that stem from magic. She is in the process of discovering its limitless powers and possibilities. So yeah, those are my two children. I hope you like them. I like them so much. Every time I write on this book, every time I work on it, I just want to scoop them up and cuddle them and just tell them it'll be alright, even if that's a lie. So anyway, when I designed Anya and Camilla, I had very definite ideas of what they were going to look like. For example, you can't see it on the reference, but also Camilla had a little tooth gap, which gives her more character. Her hair is very wild and it's supposed to be unkempt and not like super silky, but like wild and maybe a little dry because she's not super interested in keeping track of it, but she also doesn't want to cut it. While Anya is supposed to give a very composed look, she has been taught to like keep herself and be pretty and be quiet and be compliant all her life, and I kind of wanted that to be reflected in her appearance, like the long straightened hair and like her composure being together and like everything about her being very, very straightened out and very prim and proper. And I also wanted her to have like a non-conventional, beautiful feature, I guess, and make her beautiful in her own way, because I think there's so many people who are genuinely beautiful in a way that's not the beauty standard, because let's be honest, the beauty standard is kind of weird. And I always want to capture unique beauty in characters that kind of reflects and makes them feel like a real person, but also makes them look beautiful, because they're like beautiful characters. Sue me, I don't know, like and for their clothes, their dresses are actually inspired by Victorian era school uniforms. They are a little bit like inaccurate, because I wanted them to be more fantastical too and more unique, because in the setting there's magic and there's an institute that exposes magic, so I might as well stretch reality a little bit. But the shapes of everything, the aprons and the skirt length, and you know, the blouse, everything is very much leaning on the Victorian era of school uniforms. And yeah, that's why they look the way they do. And if you wonder what kind of like compass amulet Camilla is wearing around her neck, this one is also very, very important to the story. I will not tell you why, but it's very important to the story, so that's why she's wearing it. Obviously for Camilla, I wanted her features to be very soft, like very rounded and soft, because beyond her like rebellious and kind of piercing appearance, she's actually a total softie, and she just wants to be loved too, because she's been lonely for so long, and she actually has a lot of emotional turmoil hidden behind her exterior, and I wanted that to be reflected in kind of her softness and the way she her features are arranged. And the opposite goes for Anya, because she pretends to be like this little compliant mouse, but she's very intense if she wants to be. If something is very important to her, she can be very sharp, very, very sturdy. And yeah, I wanted that to be also reflected in her more sharpened, like her chin and her eyes and her nose. Everything is a lot more sharp than with Camilla, and that was also very much on purpose. I always try to avoid same face syndrome, because I've struggled with that for a long time, and I feel like it gives the character so much more if you try to include different ethnicities, different features, different like genuinely unique compositions of a face and stuff like that. Also different body types, and yeah, and that's also very fun to learn. Like I study people on the street all the time. It's gotten me into a couple of embarrassing staring situations, but I think it's so interesting to see how every single person is unique in how they look and how they act and how they think and how they speak. Everyone is 100% unique in their existence, and I want that to be reflected in my characters a little bit. So I made an effort to learn how to create different features and different faces for my characters, and I hope you like them, and I hope you think that I was successful with that. But yeah, that's that much about Anya and Camilla, my dear children. Let's get to the outro. So that was the second part of my art fight prep series, very shortened. Maybe I'll do an outro kind of like aftermath video for art fight after it's done, because I still have one more character that I managed to add, and I would love to introduce you to him. But yeah, for today, I think that's gonna be enough. You've been held hostage here for long enough. And yeah, I want to thank you for sticking around. Again, if you like my content and my art, please consider subscribing and liking the video. Maybe share it with someone who would also enjoy it. And if you want to get notifications whenever I post, please don't forget to ring the bell. Also, don't forget to check out my VGen and check out my store if you want to get yourself something nice, or a friend of yours, or your mom, or your grandmom, or your dog. I don't know. There's something for everyone. I'm convinced. So yeah, it was lovely today. Now, as a final song recommendation for today, I want to recommend to you Goddess by Paris, which is a feminist rock anthem that will jostle you and give you the energy to walk and strut around your neighborhood like a freaking model, because it is full of energy and it's full of feminine rage, and I freaking love it, and I hope you will too. Paris deserves all the love. She's amazing. By the pencil, I'm glad that you stuck around for the video today, and I hope you have a lovely week. I will see you in the next one. Put potato out.